Hello, A Better Lived Life crew. I'm Christina, coach, combat vet, and community change agent. Are you going to set a New Year's resolution? Or have you, like many of us, given up on the concept of making New Year's resolutions? Why do we do this to ourselves? Every year we pick something and then that goal falls apart by January. Don't let your New Year's resolution be the source of feelings of failure. For those of us with ADHD, we tend to dream big. We are often creative and we know what we could achieve if we could just give it 100%. After all, we wrote that one amazing paper that one time in one night, and we started that one thing and learned so much that first day or first week, but then stopped. So we know that if we could just stick to it, we can do amazing things. But we also tend to be not so stellar at time management. So of course we think, I can just do this new big thing without giving up anything else. So what are our options? Keep trying the same thing over and over again, otherwise known as the definition of insanity? Or do we give up? Or maybe, is there a third option? Let's think. The next time we set a goal, how can we increase the odds of actually accomplishing it? Let's talk the basics. Then at the end, we'll talk about how we need to modify these general methods so that they actually work for those of us with ADHD. So first, SMART goals. SMART is fabulous for goals that have an end. Clean the garage, build or assemble that thing, learn how to make a specific something, lose 10 pounds before the high school reunion. In the end, you can check off that you have completed this item. If your goal has an end, go through the process of writing out the specific goal. Clearly define it. How will it be measured? How much? Is it achievable? Do you already have the skills to start and the time to do it? Is it relevant? Is this actually important to you? Why? Are you sure it's your goal and not something else, or that you think you should accomplish because society says so? And make it time bound. What is the deadline? If realistically you think it will take 6 months, since you have ADHD, that's not going to work. What is the 1 week goal? The 1 month goal? For goals that are a little more vague, such as we don't know how long they're going to take, or the goal is going to be lifelong, creating habits will likely be more effective than trying to set a SMART goal with a meaningless time frame. A habit is something that you do every day, or almost every day. Every day, right before bed, I do a bunch of physical therapy stretches while I do a Duolingo lesson. I don't know how long it will take me to learn Spanish at the level I would like to, and physical therapy is going to be lifelong. I have spinal problems. It is what it is. The focus was simply finding a space in my day where the new habit could be slotted in and easily remembered. The pain and discomfort on my back is enough for me to remember to do the stretches along with seeing the bed. By the time I start doing the stretches, that is more than enough to remind me to start the Duolingo lesson, because the stretches are boring and I crave something. Where will you fit this new habit into your life? How will you make it small enough that you can do it every day? What will likely get in the way, and how will you manage that? How will you work around it? Now, let's talk about how you and me, as people with ADHD, need to further modify our goals to achieve them. I already briefly mentioned, if it's a 6-month goal, make sure you've got a 1 week goal, a 1 day goal, a 1 month goal. Make the time frame smaller. But with ADHD, if the goal isn't something that can be accomplished in a short period of time, we likely need to add accountability to this goal? Who will hold you accountable? How? So you can have accountability people such as immediate contacts. This is your friends, your family, your coworkers. You can use people with some level of authority in your life. This could be coaches, bosses, or just people you strongly respect and admire. You could use a third-party system. So this could be some sort of accountability buddies, like the FocusMate website, or accountability buddies, I think it's called on Reddit, something like that. I've never used that one. Or the website Stick, S-T-I-C-K-K. I just learned about that one. I haven't tried it yet myself. So within that realm, we respond better to punishment than to rewards. An accountability path that will result in embarrassment, loss of money or status, or something else that has meaning to us will typically work better. This isn't some weird puritanical thinking. Studies have shown a reward has to be twice the size of a loss to feel the same to us. So the rewards come across as bigger, they hurt more, it's emotional. Rewards are not as effective with those of us with ADHD, especially if the reward is far off in the future. If the goal is small enough, your need to impress or be seen a certain way may be enough to get you to do it. In that case, it's just making sure the right people know what you are trying to do. Bigger goals require bigger accountability. For something like 3 years now, I have been very, very slowly learning Spanish. At first, I needed a bigger stick. I reported to 2 coworkers, and every week that I didn't do at least 5 days of lessons, I paid them $2 for every day I was short. $2 was big enough when combined with having to admit my failure to cover a 5 to 10 minute lesson a day. Now, it's a habit, and the streak counter on Duolingo is enough motivation. Make the daily activity toward your goal small enough to do it every day, or nearly every day, and make the accountability method big enough to drive you. What about a $100 check to a politician that you hate and a family member holds the sealed, stamped, and enveloped check? So that if you don't do the thing, they send it. What about 52 checks? $10 each, sent weekly if you don't do the thing. If it's a long-term goal or lifestyle change, make sure that you make your exceptions in advance so that doing or not doing the thing is never a choice. For example, you have a goal of 7,000 steps a day. Well, if you have the flu, that's a pretty good reason not to do it. That is a valid excuse. What about if you have to travel and it's just really cold and you don't have access to a gym? What are and are not the acceptable reasons to skip the thing that day? You plan to eat healthier. What about holidays and birthdays? Plan in advance. Are you the type that it has to be absolutely yes or no? Or are you the type that you know you're going to give in and eat the cake at the birthday parties, and therefore you are just going to write that in as a valid exception, and you can have a normal amount of junk food at those types of things, and it just is what it is. Make your decision in advance so there is no need for regret or shame. Regret and shame make it harder to make these lifelong changes, make it harder to stick to a habit. There's a difference between punishment and shame. If punishment is just a loss, like $10, it can just be passed on and it hurts and it's a motivator. Shame is the view of I am a failure as opposed to I failed in this task. Shame is not helpful. If you view yourself as worthless, why would you do the thing? Punishment is motivation, not shame. With ADHD, cues become one of the most important components of our ability to meet goals. We add cues for behaviors we want to increase, and we remove cues for behaviors we want to decrease. Want to exercise more? Phone reminders, putting your exercise clothes where you will see them, strategically placed yoga mats, leaving weights in front of your TV or your computer. These things can all be cues to remind you to move just a little bit more, to work out just a little bit more, to exercise just a little bit more while you are doing something else. Want to eat less junk food? Don't bring it in the home, or at least put it somewhere hard to reach, see, or access. The less visible and the more steps to get to it, the less likely you are to eat it. Want to play fewer video games? Put the system away when you are done. Locate it in a closed cabinet. Lock the controllers in a drawer in another room. Don't keep that shortcut on the desktop. Take the batteries out of the remote. Want to get more schoolwork done? Put reminders of your academia everywhere. Constant reminders that you are currently a student. Don't drop the book bag by the front door. Bring it in, put it in front of the TV or in front of the chair that you're going to sit in. And finally, body doubling can be one of the most effective tools for those of us with ADHD. I know, I've said so many things are effective, but we need more walls. Having someone else to clean with, do homework with, practice with, walk with, etc. This could be an official class or study group, a buddy that will come over or sit on a video call with you while you both work, an accountability buddy body double like Focus Mate where it's virtual and it's a third party, or a connection from another accountability group, or even an online group that is all working for the same task and you post your progress. I'm sorry that there's no easy answer, no silver bullet to just magically make us do what we want to do. But there are ways to increase the odds of getting our goals completed. If your goal has an end, take the time to set up a SMART goal. Write it down. Turn it into a habit if the goal is lifestyle related or you simply don't know how long it's going to take. Get accountability. Set your exemptions in advance. Set up cues or remove them. If you take the time to plan where the goal will fit into your life and how you will accomplish each of these steps, you will make more progress. And remember, the number one predictor of how well we function with ADHD is our sleep. So make sure to get your sleep. Go forth and do great things.